We are human. You're with Tom, Brian and Steve, and this is NRL from the Sidelines, so welcome to tonight's show. Gentlemen, before we start the Latrell bashing, before you all get
so
into
precious,
it,
so defensive,
before you all get into
so
it,
precious.
would you just like to tell me how your week's been? Brian?
Well, apparently I just got attacked for being excited about the week's football, but anyway, we'll leave that alone.
Well, you didn't get attacked. It was such a surprise that you're excited about the week's football. You know, we are still stunned by your week's football.
I'm not stunned. Well, I am actually.
If there has ever been a team that is ruled by one player...
I was going to say, look, you, Steve, have been watching football for longer than I have. Have you ever seen a team more reliant on a single player than Manly is on Tom?
That's my point. Never have I seen it.
With Tom, without Tom.
Oh my goodness.
With Tom, without Tom.
I mean, I know that we'll get to the game, but I know the Manly team played really well.
Yep.
But it coincided with
so
Tom
much better
coming
with
back,
him
and it
there.
was just amazing.
And you know, it's like you hear it all the time. The commentators say, you sit in the dressing room, you know, and you look up, and there's Tommy, and you go, yeah, we're going to be on today.
So, Tom, how are you tonight?
I'm pretty good, thanks.
You're good? You're ready to go?
Yes, I am.
Let's get started on to, because we're up to round 6, gentlemen. So the season is quickly disappearing.
Yes.
Thursday night at Suncorp Stadium, the Penrith Panthers beat the Broncos 20-12, and boy, didn't the Broncos give them a scare.
Yeah, this wasn't reflective. The score isn't reflective of the quality of the game, I think. I think you have to say that the Raiders, the Panthers always look patient.
Yes.
They're the kind of team that go, you know what, we're going to find a chink in their armour eventually.
Actually,
we're
that's
just
a
going to
good
be patient.
word for the Panthers.
They're very patient, and eventually, you know, it was a 2-point field goal, and then a pretty good try right on the line. But look, I think the Broncos should be really pleased with their effort. Did you see the rev up that Kevy was giving them before the game? Before the game.
Boy, they must have been thinking, well, this is what it is before the game. What the hell's it going to be like after
Well,
the game?
maybe he thought they looked a bit half asleep, and maybe he just needed to wake them up because it worked.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And Milford being dropped, and Croft had his best game that I've ever seen him play.
Yep. And the forwards just monstered through, didn't they?
I've got a question for you, though. So the week before, the Panthers played the Raiders, and they were roundly criticised for arrogance. Do you think that got into the young guys' heads?
Yes.
And they just held back.
Well, you knew they were thinking about it because at the first try, they shook hands.
Yes.
Very gentlemanlike, as opposed to what would normally be a celebration.
Yeah, so that was...
But
that
I think
was...
they missed the point, because it wasn't the celebrating that was
And
the
it
issue.
didn't look, and it looked fake.
But yes, I think it got to them.
I'm curious to see which Panthers team comes out this week. So
I think they've made their point. They'll get back to them.
hats off to the Broncos. Like Payne Haas, Lodge, and Tavita Pangai Jr. were they were monsters.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
all plus to the Broncos, but.
And are we prepared to say it was just Nathan Cleary, the brilliance of Nathan Cleary, that actually got the Panthers over the line?
No, how good was Brian Toll?
Oh, very good.
My goodness.
And Luai had a relatively quiet game, really.
Yeah, well, he's been the most criticised during the week. So
so maybe it played a
no,
role.
you tell me. And we did have a head-high tackle in that game go unnoticed. Picked up by the match review committee.
Who was that?
Paul Momorowski hit Tom Dearden.
I think I did see that, but there was nothing made of it.
Nothing made of it.
Yeah.
That's all. I just wanted to make the point that there was a head-high shot. Nothing was made of it. And of course, it was a 2-week suspension.
Only a 2-week suspension.
Okay.
For such a head-high tackle.
Well, which was barely noticed.
Well, no, that's okay. That's okay. Unnoticed by everyone. 2 weeks. That's okay. We'll continue on.
Okay, so you're going to make another point later, I'm guessing. You're saving this one up for something.
No, Friday night at 6 o'clock. Okay. Come on, hurry up. Go on. Just trying to move you two on. Otherwise, we're going to be here till sun up. Let's go.
Your problem with that is?
Yeah, we're still talking about footy.
I'm hungry.
Okay. Let's go to McDonald Jones Stadium, just for Tom. Newcastle Knights 26 beat the Sharks 22. And again, this one was only won in the final minutes.
The Kalen Ponga show. Despite his diarrhea.
And vomiting.
Right.
Yeah, he was crook as.
Yeah.
Struggling at both ends. Okay.
I know.
Well, you could say he did it all over the Sharks, really.
Oh, my goodness. Far out. That's Tom on his own.
Yeah.
This is what happens when we're not rehearsed.
So, Tom, do you want to talk...
You mean you rehearsed, do you?
In my head.
in the car on the way over.
Right.
So do you want to talk about the football, or are you happy to just keep talking about Ponga and his illness?
No.
Look, I've got to say, for a team that is missing so many players, the Knights actually played well. Now, we've bagged them out previous weeks because they haven't shown up, haven't turned up.
Yep.
But this week, they really turned up.
Yep.
Oh, I don't know. The Sharks are another one. And I'm not taking away from Kalen Ponga and Brody Jones.
Oh, what a great game he had.
12 games into his NRL career, and you're just looking at the guy going,
Brody who? I'd never heard of him.
What a superstar.
I've never heard of him.
Yeah.
He makes 2 try savers and scores a try and lays on a try.
So that's the Sharks. So that's the Knights. But what about the Sharks? Like last week we were discussing, John Morris, he won't leave. He was pushed out. They've got a new coach.
We finished the show and I got in the car and the news said he's gone.
I know. Unbelievable. So, new coach. He was pushed out. And their discipline cost them. Let's face it, they had some stupid errors.
Yeah.
Stupid errors are Will Kennedy and Jesse Ramian. Brain snaps. They let the Knights back in, and the Knights were good enough to take advantage of it.
Yeah.
So yes, and Braden out there, Braden Towers.
Yes.
Mate, Jesse Ramian, is Will Chambers going to take his spot, mate? Because Jesse Ramian's got nothing in defence.
Oh, and isn't Sally upset about Will Chambers?
Oh, is she?
Oh,
yes.
yes. Oh, yes.
Yes.
Disloyalty.
Sally made a couple of comments on our Facebook page. Thank you, Sally, for making the comments.
Maybe it should be called, Sally, the Cooper Cronk move. No bronze statue for you, Will Chambers.
Come on.
All right.
Let's move on before Tom gets us in trouble with more listeners. Yeah. Okay, so we're going on to Amy Park, where the Melbourne Storm beat the Roosters 20-4.
Yes.
And Tom, I have to say, the Roosters never looked like they were going to win this game.
They could not get out of their own end. They spent, I don't know how long they spent in the Melbourne 20, but it wasn't very long in the whole game. I thought in the first half they defended incredibly well, given that they lost Radley for 10 minutes. And I guess we can talk about that in a minute. But, for 40 minutes, I thought that they defended extremely well. And a lesser side probably would have let Melbourne put on some points, I think. So I was pretty pleased with that. But in the second half, I actually think they just defended themselves to exhaustion. And in the end, those tries I think were scored late in the game. And
it was 2-0 at half time or something.
Yeah. 4-0. And it was only penalty goals.
Yeah.
And look, the Roosters didn't earn the right to win the game because they dropped the ball all the time. They spent all the time defending. They didn't hold the ball, so they didn't have any possession. So you can't expect them to win the game. I mean, the injuries are stopping their cohesion. That's part of the problem. Is they defend really stoutly, but when they try to attack, there's just no cohesion in the attack.
I understand that.
Yeah.
All right, that's the Roosters though. So let's talk about Melbourne for a second.
Let's.
Head high tackle in this game, as Tom's already alluded to.
There was.
Now, I don't understand this. I don't understand why everyone is saying, and this is no disrespect to the Roosters and everyone else, that this wasn't as bad as some of the others over the weekend. Because Victor Radley stuck his arm out, leaping up off the ground, and managed to catch Cameron Munster by the head. So he's actually, and the ref actually called it on field. You hit him high, you left the ground to do it. I think that was, and this is my untrained eye, I guess, was the worst of all of that, the high shots over the weekend.
I don't agree. I
know you don't agree.
I think he put his arm out and he got wrong-footed because Munster, you can see Munster's footwork.
Yep. And if he
Radley
wasn't,
knew where he was going to be, but he didn't end up being there.
If he didn't leave the ground, I don't think I'd have a problem with it. But he leapt off the ground to get him. So that's the first thing. So I think that was a shocker. Second thing, Cameron Munster has been hit high. He laid on the ground. Admittedly, it might have stunned him. Got a penalty. HIA. He played on.
Well, before that, Radley gets 10.
Radley gets 10. He played on. And then all of a sudden, Cameron Munster comes off the ground. 27 seconds.
Yep.
where he's replaced by Jesse Bromwich.
No, Asafa Solomona.
Safa Solomona.
Yep.
All right, no problem. 27 seconds later, he comes back on and replaces Christian Welch.
Yeah.
Yep. And all that was a free interchange.
Absolutely. And look, I don't know whether that's legal or not, but either way,
It shouldn't be.
It should not be legal.
You know what? If we're talking about, and we've got some very strong opinions on our Facebook page, feel free to add to them, about player welfare and HIAs, that was a disgrace.
Harry Grant was another one.
That was an absolute disgrace.
Harry Grant was still... I mean, JT, Jonathan Thurston said it on Channel 9. He said... When he got hit, he was down, he was not moving for at least a couple of seconds.
Yep.
And the rule is, if that happens, you have to be off 15 minutes. Now, he was assessed, he scored a try, and he was instrumental, I think, in 2 tries within that 6 or 7 minutes. And then they pulled him off.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Yeah, no. and until clubs get fair income about it, because I'll tell you this, if any one of our clubs is in the grand final, and our chief playmaker gets taken out, and we have the opportunity to 27-second, or let them stay on for as long as possible and cop a $20,000 fine, I will want my club to do that.
It's chicken feed.
Of course.
It's chicken feed.
There you go.
Well,
All right.
I mean, Melbourne aren't the only club that have done that this weekend. The Cowboys did exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
But I know Robinson did confront Bellamy about it afterwards.
Yeah.
And discuss it. It's not in the spirit of the game.
No.
And, the easy way to do it is if you get the free interchange, that player comes off.
Yep.
But I've got to say, and Sally, you're not going to like this, but it appears that every innovation in the game that is negative, okay, I'm not going to say every, but many innovations in the game that are negative appear to begin at the Melbourne Storm. And I'm sorry, that's my feeling.
Is that a bad thing?
No.
Well, not if it's bad.
No. That's just them exploiting the rules.
That's right.
Yeah.
And every club does it. And I tell you what, they're just smart enough to do it first.
Yeah,
Yep.
and that's why people don't like them.
Yep.
They don't care. Probably don't care.
I don't have a problem with them innovating.
But let me say that I don't think we were the better team on the night. And I think in the end, while I think the score did not reflect the quality of defence in the game, that we were never going to win that game, and we weren't going to get the 2 points. So, congratulations, Storm. I just don't like the way you got there.
I just want to end with this. Both teams, for me, had trouble scoring. They both seem to have trouble in attack. Defence is no problem. Both seem to have trouble in attack.
Right. Yep.
Okay,
let's talk about the next game.
Let's talk about the next game that Brian would like to talk about. At Glen Willow Oval in Mudgee, we have the Manly Sea Eagles, 36...
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
No, actually, it wasn't.
There wasn't Titans versus Tom Dvojevic.
Yeah, it was actually. Yeah. In fact, you know what? This is actually. I don't even know how to say this one because this wasn't the Manly team.
Look,
so somebody beat the Titans 36-0. I'm just not sure who did it.
Either way, I know there was one club that had no problem with attack or defence.
Well, when I was watching that game, I thought, have they cloned these people?
Oh honestly, my goodness! I don't know what was going on. Look. I said it last week. Tom's back. There's pressure on him, but I did not expect such a performance from a bloke who's been out for 6 months.
Yeah. He's played a few games in 12 months, hasn't he? Really?
He's just played a handful. That was phenomenal.
It shows what a true champion he is.
But it wasn't only him. Kieran Foran had his best game.
I posted that. I think I texted one of you that I thought Kieran Foran had an absolutely fantastic game. His kicking game was superb.
David Fafita last week cut was it the Bulldogs they played? Cut them to shreds.
The Knights.
Cut them to shreds. Yep. Scored tries, set up tries.
Yep.
Morgan Harper, the Mexican drug dealer.
I heard
honestly,
that is a view of Brian, not the view of this show.
He was sensational. In defense.
A fantastic game.
I can't see. I don't know what happened.
Well, he was playing centres, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, because Georgie might not get another Guernsey, but he hasn't played centres.
So we've been bagging out Des for not changing
Well, you've been
team.
bagging up Des.
Well, yes, I have. For not changing this team after loss after loss after loss. Should we expect that now that you've won, that he's going to change the team? Because that would be the normal thing to do.
I actually think he will change the team. This week, no, but I think as soon as Curtis Sirenen is fit, I think he'll come back into the team.
And
Moses Sully.
Walker's gone too, hasn't he?
Yeah, Walker's gone for a good 6 to 8 weeks.
Sully's
got a fractured back, so he might be out for a while.
Yep.
But I don't know. look,
That's right.
and I don't know about you guys and what you think of these players, but Dylan Walker and Moses Sully would be pretty close to starting at most clubs. I don't know how you leave them out for Morgan Harper and Ruben, not Ruben Garrick, Brad Parker.
Yeah, and you've still got Tavita Funa, who's a decent player too.
So go figure.
All right.
Yep.
Okay. So let's
Good
move on
performance.
then to Stadium Australia, where I got to, and I know I'm biased here, but I say this was probably the match of the round. It was never going to be, but I tell you what, it was an exciting game. The Rabbitohs beating the Tigers in Golden Point 18-14.
Yeah, again, not a good reflection of the game. I don't think. But as I said,
game.
I was upset on the night when we were watching that game.
Why were you upset, Tom?
Yeah, but let me say first of all, you said yourself, and I agree that the good teams find a way to win.
Yes.
And the Rabbitohs had to pull themselves out of a hat, to be honest.
Rabbit out of the hat. That's right.
Because they were by no means the better team up until about the 60th minute or 70th minute.
Right.
But credit to Adam Reynolds. I thought that two-point clutch field goal was absolutely sensational, and just gave us a bit of hope. And Tommy was lucky at the end. I mean, they just clocked off. They clocked off.
Tom Burgess, 206 run meters,
No,
32
but the
tackles.
end, that last play.
That was. I reckon that was a planned move.
Well, it might have been.
206 run meters, 32 tackles, and the match-winning try. You got to take your hat off to that. That was a phenomenal effort.
And it was interesting to see as he was running, all those Tigers players ran past him.
Yeah.
To go for to
Because
try and stop the field goal.
Yeah, because
and
they were
he's just
expecting the
sailing
field
to
goal.
this huge hole.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was very good.
Eyes up
And he
football.
only just got it down.
He didn't just.
He only just got it
Oh,
down.
he only just got it
He
down.
just got it. In real time, it looked like he bounced that off the
Tom
ground. But
doesn't lie.
slow-
Tom doesn't. I got to tell you, I was screaming. I was so angry that I was angry that they had allowed the Tigers to pick up the ball and run
down the
100,
other end.
and then award the try.
Oh, no.
I got to tell you, I hate this thing of. If you're going to award the try, look at the thing first.
No way. You
I
play the
hate-
whistle. Steve, you
I
would have
hate
played
the
the whistle?
whistle.
Play the whistle?
Yes,
You play the
but
whistle.
it's not
The bunk
rule.
could
There was-
If we play the
there was-
rule, that's a try.
But if
you
it's
play the
fair
whistle-
dinkum, the bunk will always overrule
Yeah.
and give the try
Yeah,
to
but
Tom
we
Burgess.
never had you do that.
No.
We always had to say,
Excuse
that's
me.
the try.
Had
Well,
the Rabbitohs
no.
run 100
Hang
metres
on.
and scored the try, you would have been happy.
Excuse
No,
me, we're
yes,
constantly...
I don't like
No. We're saying play the advantage. All the ref was doing was playing the advantage. Tom Burgess dropped the ball, the Tigers ran.
And I'm fine with that.
That's all I was
any
saying.
other year, he would have got to the Tigers and said, okay, time off, let's have a look at
No.
it. But now he says, here's the try.
No, he would have said,
He
I've
would
played
not.
the advantage. It's
Yep.
always about play the advantage. And that's all that happened.
No,
You
it's
South
wrong.
supporters are just
All right,
weird,
wrong.
man.
Let's get on to
there's
the
a-
stuff.
no.
There was a couple of things that happened through that game.
No, it's not for you to talk about this. Sorry, you'll have to be
Okay,
quiet
well, you
now.
guys make up your stories and I'll come in with the truth in the end.
Okay,
Right?
Tom, how good was Latrell Mitchell in that game?
Brilliant.
He
How
did a
good-
couple.
Shush, Tom.
He did a couple.
He was very, very good.
He was
He did a couple of decent
He was
things.
exceptional, wasn't
Yes.
he? Did you like how when he picked up the ball in the in goal and he put his foot on the line?
Correct,
Yeah, and
that's
the,
right.
Come
and
on.
no one saw that.
That's right. No.
No one saw
And,
you
then,
like-
and then when he ran down the sideline, he got,
Yeah, and
got
he-
taken by the leg by
yeah,
Luke Garner.
and he kicked at him.
kicked
At
out
his
at him.
face, yeah.
Nothing to say
Nobody
about that.
saw it, yeah.
Well, fine, which is absolutely
Yeah,
ridiculous.
now.
And that was on top of already having
Yeah.
put the knees into Luke Garner
As he
scored
scored,
a
which
try.
wasn't an 8-point
and then
try.
before that, when Norfolima kicked the ball,
You know
through
we're running out of
for a
time
try
here,
shot,
right?
Yep.
he runs back and just a little politely puts
Yeah,
the
yeah.
elbow into his face.
Oh, absolutely.
So if
My
you add up
suggestion
that,
to you all
the
watching
four
is just to
things,
fast forward
Plus,
through this
plus
quick
the head high.
and
yes, and he gets penalised for one thing and
No,
two
no, no.
and two fines.
There was no penalty. It was you're on report.
Yes.
You knocked the bloke out. You tried
By the
to take
time he
his
kicked
teeth
Garner
out.
in the head, he should have been off the park.
Absolutely.
He should
All
have
right.
been off the park. And
All
so
right.
the interesting and the other thing is the Rabbitohs have said
Keep fast
we are
forwarding, it's
annoyed
okay.
at the
It's all right. I'll let you know when you
inconsistency.
come back in.
We are annoyed at the inconsistency across. If it was consistent,
When you see me do this,
He would have
it
been
means
off.
Come back into the
so,
quiet.
I don't know what they're bleeding about.
I know, who knows?
Honestly, it's a
Far
joke.
out. Yeah, it was a joke.
What a joke! And
All
then
right.
he goes and gets the 3 points,
Oh, my
which I
goodness.
thought was absolutely ridiculous.
All right.
All right, now the truth is,
Seriously.
All right.
Latrell
No, we've
Mitchell-
run out of time.
We've
Tom.
run out of time.
Sorry.
On to the
moving
next
on.
game.
No. You have no objectivity in this game.
None. I'm telling you, none.
Latrell Mitchell wasn't even looking at the guy when he accidentally hit him with the head
Oh,
with his shin.
He's that good a player.
He was looking that way.
And you know what? This all started when he passed the ball to Alex Johnson, and he turns around and goes, and the bloke's 20 metres away from the line, and ends up not being a try. That kind of arrogance is what the problem with your team.
The Raiders 10, gentlemen.
Sorry, what was that? Where are we?
You've got to watch this show this week.
GIO Stadium.
You better write a good promo for this show.
Just fast forward all this rubbish and go straight to
Where are we?
GIO Stadium, where Parramatta 35 beat the Canberra Raiders 10. And look, I'm sorry, we are running out of time, so if you need to go and put your kids to bed, do that now, and then you can come back to this later, because I think this is going to drag on for another few minutes because of these joggers.
All right.
Okay.
Parramatta and the Raiders.
Yep.
Raiders very disappointing.
Yes.
Parramatta very, very good. Starting to shape up.
Ricky said that there were a number of individuals on his side who were just waiting for somebody else to take the ball and run with it.
Yes.
Interesting. That's a bad sign.
Yes.
Your coach is noticing that.
Mitchell Moses. Apparently we've picked up another Parramatta viewer, Steve. Another Steve. Maybe it's in the name. You're just all annoying.
Yeah, but we're not all Parramatta supporters. It's okay.
All right. What can I say? And I got in trouble because I kind of rolled my eyes at Parramatta. Mitch Moses.
He had a beauty, didn't he?
All right. He had a ripper of a game.
Absolutely controlled that game. Yeah.
You know what? Parramatta would be such a great team if he could do that week in, week out.
Well, Cooper Cronk said that has to be his norm now every week.
Won't happen.
But he's not Norm.
But that has to be his. Talk about time wasting.
All right.
Yeah.
So and the problem for the Raiders is that last week against the Panthers, they had 4 tries scored down their right hand side, and against Parramatta there were 5.
Right.
So they've got some real work to do with their right hand edge.
Papa Lee, again, another great name. Papa Lee runs over Papa Lee and scores.
No, he's Papa Leahy as well now, apparently.
Yeah, that's right.
Papa Leahy ran over Papa Leahy.
That's what I just said. But thanks
did.
for reminding me
Okay,
anyway.
sorry.
He doesn't listen to
No, well, I thought I did, yeah.
No wonder this is going twice the size of the
Oh,
time.
my goodness.
There's an echo here.
So,
Sunday.
Are we prepared to say that Parramatta's the real deal?
No.
Okay.
Still not sure about Parramatta.
No.
That's again, this is the opinion of Brian. Nestrata Jubilee Stadium, where the Warriors beat the Dragons 20-14.
Yeah, didn't see this coming. Thought the Dragons were rolling on.
Yeah.
I want to say something here.
Yep.
The completion rate for the Warriors was 98%.
Was it 27 out of 28?
38 out of 39
38
or
out of
something
39,
like that.
yeah.
No, 40 out of
40 out of 41.
Just
you're right.
a ridiculous amount, yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen such a. It's no wonder they won, but they nearly didn't. But anyway,
But it doesn't work for the Dogs.
no.
Yeah, but the Dogs can't score points.
I know.
I
know.
I mean, this game fluctuated. I honestly thought St George were going to come through at the end, but it was that last try by the Warriors. Obviously, not long to go. What was it? 70th minute.
65th minute. Yeah. Yep.
Look,
The Warriors are a mixed bag, as I've often been, but they have some terrific football in them, and then they have some average games, and this was one of their better ones.
Yeah.
Oh, look, the problem with the Dragons is what I've noticed is that if they hit the lead, they capitalise on that.
Yeah.
But when they're in an arm wrestle, it looks like they can't handle it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Cool.
And can I just say, I have never heard a crowd as vocal on the, like, admittedly, I'm watching on TV. I've never heard a crowd as vocal as that crowd at Cogra. They were angry.
Well, the Dragons fans already. Barry, you got your grand final tickets yet?
Don't say that. Poor
Can I
Raiders.
ask, Cody Ramsey.
Yep.
He's a good player.
He's playing really well, isn't he? For a rookie. Well, he's not a rookie, but he's virtually a rookie. I think he only played a few games last year, but he's virtually a rookie. He's really solid in defence too.
Great in attack.
Yeah. And Dufty still really building his game.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he might have some defensive issues, but in attack,
Yeah. I keep hearing people who are much wiser than us saying, I know there are some.
Yeah, okay.
Keep saying that Dufty's a 5'8", and that's where he should be playing because he then doesn't have to make as many tackles, but he can run the ball. He's got great hands. What is that?
Yeah, and look, there's probably a lot of validity in that. But who did he then put at fullback? for the Dragons?
I don't know. I'm not a Dragons fan. I don't know who they've got coming through.
Yeah, I don't know.
Thanks, Warriors, because we play the Dragons next week.
Hey,
They'll be
you think
they'll
got
be
a problem?
fired up. They'll be fired up.
You think you got a problem? The Tigers get smashed last week and come out and do that to South. The Titans get smashed this week, and South play them next week.
I don't think you have any worries.
So,
anyway.
well, I didn't think we had worries against the Tigers either.
Yeah.
Queensland Country Bank Stadium, where the North Queensland Cowboys beat the Bulldogs 30-18, and this was very much a ho-hum game. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I mean,
until someone gets sent off.
Yeah.
And then it gets exciting.
Wasn't that interesting that that Hetherington goes off and they actually play better than they've played almost all season so far. I thought the Dogs were going to come home on this one. They looked that way for a little while, but it wasn't to be.
Okay. Gentlemen, that's the end of our show. You got anything intelligent you want to say? No, you don't. Thank you. And Tom?
No more than usual.
No more than that means nothing. Thank you for watching. You're with Tom, Brian, and Steve, and this is NRL from the Sidelines, and we'll do it all again next week. Thanks for
we're going to be doing our preview.
Bye-bye.
Don't forget the preview show. You forgot about that.
I'm not talking to you.